Today I have a special guest and we're going to be talking about an alternative to flossing, water flossing. Welcome back to the Healthy Mouth Movement. Today I have Carol Jan. She is a dental hygienist from the University of Iowa. She is also the Director of Professional Relations and Education of WaterPick. And she's going to share with us information on WaterPick and how to use it, where to get it, and what you can do. So Carol, thank you for being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. It's my pleasure. I love talking about water flossing and how it can help everybody. And truly, I know we're going to focus on kids today, but it can help everybody, and kids especially a great way to start. So we often find that kids do use water flossers, and then we see them as adults, whether they're dental professionals or even talking with dental professionals, and they'll say, well, I used it when I had ortho. I'm like, why aren't you using it today? Well, it's just to clean around the braces. So there's a lot of misconceptions. So let me start first with why a water flosser, what it is, and why it would be important for you or your family, and especially your kids to use. So the water flosser was developed back in 1962 by a dentist in Fort Collins, Colorado. The company WaterPick is still in Fort Collins, Colorado today. And we're a subsidiary, a legal subsidiary of Church & Dwight. Some people don't realize that. But it was a dentist and one of his patients who was a professor of hydraulic engineering at Colorado State, and the dentist wanted something to help his patients with periodontal disease. And the funny thing about it is he didn't want a pulsating device, but the only way he could keep this device from leaking was by making it pulsating. And what we know today about the efficacy of the water flosser is that it's pulsation and pressure that are a big part of why it works as it does. So sometimes people will say, well, don't you have to floss when you use it because you need mechanical action to remove plaque? And I say, well, first of all, you're right about the mechanical action, but that combination of pulsation and pressure with the water flosser has been shown to create what we call shear hydraulic forces, and it breaks up the plaque. And there was a study done at the University of Southern California where literally they could see that through a scanning electron microscope, a really high microscope that not you and I would ever just look through in biology class, but they could see that it broke the plaque up. So A, you're correct. You do need mechanical action. You get that with water flossing. So then B, you don't need to floss if you're using a water flosser, and I haven't used string floss in about 10 years. So it makes it, we know as a hygienist, I know that people will brush their teeth, but to get somebody to do flossing is much harder. So if we were to ask people to do three things, like you want to get your kids to do three things, you can barely get them to brush their teeth. So adding the water flosser makes it easy and simple. The other thing that I think is great for you to think about when we're talking about kids and oral health is a lot of kids are not good brushers, right? They brush a little bit in the front, they don't go in the back, they spend 20 seconds and they think that's enough. And so the water flosser with plaque removal, it doesn't just remove plaque between your teeth. And one of our key opinion leaders, Amber Auger, said, I tell patients to make M's and W's around the teeth. And I thought, how simple and how great for kids, right? They understand the alphabet. So when they're using it, go around the tooth on top in an M shape, go around the tooth on the bottom like a W. And then you want to hold it briefly, for a few seconds between teeth. And so those things, right? If your child is not a good brusher, that it's also going to help not just to clean between teeth, but it's going to help get that plaque that they're not getting through toothbrushing. So with kids, you'll have kids that are 8 and could use it perfectly. And you might have a 16-year-old that just gets water all over your counter, or an adult as well. So tips to using it, we always say with children, help them, when they can, use it when they're 6, 7, 8 years old, but mom, you should help them. Our cordless model which is a great model to help kids because, you can hold it and do it. Right. Exactly. I know. I love it. I saw it there. or even a countertop. But, if your child, if you can get them to lean over the sink and you use it, with them, or even in the shower, or maybe they're in the bathtub and you take it when they're in the bathtub. Obviously you can't immerse it, but the one that you're showing Sherry, the cordless advanced, is fully waterproof. So you can take it in the shower, and they can use it. You can use it with them and show them how to do it. A great way to show them how to do it, Mom. Yeah, that you've got the mouth model,
Yep.
the hygienist, but you do it and then you show them what you do. So one of the mistakes we often make when we use a water flosser that makes it messy is we try to look in the mirror, right? It's natural. I want to see what I'm doing. But I always say eyes in the sink, not in the mirror. So if you look down, the water will go in the sink. A couple things, I'm somebody who keeps my lips slightly open and lets the water flow out. I've always done it that way. It's not a problem, but there's another way, and this might be good for kids, and we call it chipmunking. And chipmunking means maybe your child would rather close their lips around the tip, and then they open it up when they get enough water, and they expectorate it or let it go into the sink. So that works too. But certainly, Mom, you should assist them. If we're not assisting them, they're probably going to get in water fights with a sibling, the dog, or the cat. But it's going to help. If you help, they're going to get to the back teeth, which is probably a big area that they're missing. Another, with ortho, I find that this is just an essential tool for kids with ortho. We have a tip. It comes with the cordless or any of our countertop models, called the orthodontic tip, and they can really, really clean around those brackets. But even if your child doesn't have ortho, that little brush tip can be really helpful for you, Mom, using it, because literally you can put those bristles right up along the gum line. That gives enough space between where the water comes out and the tooth, because the bristles are there, but it helps you feel your way along. And then when your child goes to use it themselves, you can say, hey, just put the bristles right along, trace those M's, trace those W's, and then kind of, rub it a little bit in between the teeth. And I think you'll be amazed. Another little tip that that might be helpful, maybe for an older child, or let's say a real conscientious child, is maybe you put about an inch or a half inch of water in the sink if you're using it, helping them use it in the sink. Or if they want to sit down, if you have somebody that's wheelchair bound, I would put a towel in their lap and put a large bowl in their lap. And have them help you by catching it if you're doing it. But if you have a little water there and you do it, they'll see the gunk that comes out of their teeth. And that is so motivating for people. They're like, oh my goodness, was that in my mouth? Or, hey, Mom, we had broccoli 3 nights ago and here it is. It's kind of gross. But that grossness really reinforces for people what they're missing, and that clean feeling. So those I think are some of the tips and the tricks out there to use. Whether you like countertop or whether you like cordless is a personal choice, and it can be lifestyle, right? If you're helping a child, what's ever easier. Or if you feel your child gets the hang of it, maybe they want to take it in the shower. Maybe your child goes to dad's on the weekend and you want to be able to give them something portable so that they use it on the weekends. And the cordless, of course, comes with a little carrying bag that they could do that as well. I know you were asking about where to get it, although if you go to Costco, there's 2 in a package, and one of them is a cordless. So they could have one at Mom's and one at Dad's, or one at Mom's and one at Grandma's, or, wherever their caregiver, maybe they go to a caregiver during the day while you work, and they can have one there too as well.
That's awesome. And yeah, when you said, I talk about making it fun, and my daughter has the one that's on the countertop and I have this one, and we've had water pick fights just to make it fun. She's doing hers, I'm doing mine, and before you know it, we're cleaning the bathroom.
Yeah,
So
it's great.
It's another way to also engage your kids and make it fun, because it's different than just, the chore of brushing your teeth. So I'm all about making it fun and also making it effective and getting the plaque and the biofilm and all of that out. So I think that it is a great alternative, especially to flossing, because, sometimes it's hard to get in there.
Right. And kids don't have the dexterity. And you don't have the same dexterity that we as hygienists do to get in the back of the teeth and get it. And then you're trying to floss their teeth and they're like, Mom, it hurts. And so they try to get away from you. And the great thing about a water flosser is if you start using that at 8 years old, you can still be using it when you're 88 years old. And people, will tell me, I have good oral hygiene and I started using it and my oral hygiene went from good to great.
Right.
So you don't even have to have poor oral hygiene to get a result. You can really get top notch.
And it's great for kids with braces because a lot of the kids that we see with braces, they have gingivitis, especially.
Oh, right.
So this is, I think everyone that is in braces should have one of these. That's just my opinion.
I couldn't agree with you more. I also think sometimes, and I remember, your child gets braces, their teeth hurt after, right? They get them on, or they got them tightened. It hurts. You don't want to brush because it hurts. And then the longer they go without brushing, the more bleeding and gingivitis and plaque they're going to have. The other problem from that is when that plaque accumulates with those ortho, when you take those brackets and wires off, you can have white spot lesions, which are early cavity lesions. And we want to eliminate that as much as possible. So sometimes in private practice, when I was in private practice several years ago, if I saw somebody like that come in, what I would have them do is start, and everybody should always start on the lowest speed, by the way. That's the great way to start. But that, just that lavage to help get them back in shape where they feel like they can brush and where they can use it. So with use, right, if you're going to use it on your child, don't use it at 10 or the top speed, or they're going to be going, what are you doing to me? Start on low. We have an app also you can get for Android or Apple that on your device and it'll help you. It's got fun things, but you can increase it every day with the cordless. You want to go, there's 3 settings on that cordless, and the medium or the high is good for a countertop, anywhere like 6 or above. You don't have to go to 10. But if you're crazy like me, I love using it at 10. It's okay to use at 10. It's
feel good.
Right. It feels good. It's perfectly safe, but it gets whatever from, 6 and up, you're going to get a good response. You're going to get less plaque. You're going to get healthier tissue. So those are recommendations. Water is great because your kids aren't going to say it tastes bad,
Right.
which is also a good piece of it. But if you like to put something in there, a little capful of your favorite mouthwash, that's okay too. You just want to rinse it out afterwards, the unit a little bit.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about the handheld is I use it till the water runs out.
Mm-hmm.
And, on the one on the countertop, we actually dump the water because if you let it sit, sometimes the water gets...
Right. You want it, right. You don't want to keep water in the basin. Yeah,
right.
The reservoir.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So any other advice, tips that you think parents should have?
Good oral health, when we start these habits when we're young, then what a healthy mouth feels like. And I think that's one of the things I've heard from adults who started to use a water flosser is, I didn't know my mouth could feel this clean. And even patients will come back and say those kind of things. So when kids do that at an early age and you develop those habits, you really set your child up for having good oral health for their entire life, for making sure they don't lose teeth. And I think that we so underestimate what poor oral health can do to our overall health today, whether it's the links, there's links to heart disease, there's links to cancer, there's links to a lot of things. We don't know that they cause some of these diseases, but they certainly are probably contributors, because when you have and gum disease is an infection, it is a drag on your body from an immune system response. So those good habits early on, and Mom, you use it too, because when your kids see you doing these things and you model that good behavior, then that's really powerful for them.
Absolutely. Kids definitely do learn from watching. So if
Right.
they're not seeing you do it, they're not going to see the importance. And, starting these habits young is definitely key to just overall health.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly. It's a yeah, your oral health, your health doesn't end, right? And this part is separate. We don't always think about that or realize that, but Sherry and I can tell you we've been in a lot of mouths, and when people tend to have poor oral health, you tend to see on that medical history that they have other conditions as well. So there's certainly a correlation between how good your oral health is and how good your overall health is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for help bringing awareness to this and sharing your knowledge and expertise with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So where else can they get more information? They can go to the website.
Right? They can go to our webpage. If you go to waterpick.com and click on oral health, it'll say, even if it says shop products, you can go in, then they'll give you all sorts of information about it. For dental professionals, we have a pro site, and that'll give you more information as well. But in either site, you can get some access to some very readable research. Not going to be something, mom, that will put you to sleep, but it'll kind of give you some ideas that our product, you should have the confidence to know that our product has been studied more than 75 times since its launch in 1962. So we have a lot of research behind it. Oh, our products have earned the ADA seal of acceptance, which says that they are safe and they remove plaque from between the teeth and along the gum line and help prevent and control gingivitis. So have that confidence that they have been overseen by a third party, if you will, such as the American Dental Association.
That's
Um,
awesome.
we're available nobody's going out to the stores today, but right, we're online. You can purchase online from us. You can purchase on Amazon, Walmart, Target, Walgreens. If you click, it'll tell you where to buy, and it'll take you to those websites as well. So our site's good for that.
That's awesome. And then also, if you're a dental professional and you're not using this in the office, you do have professionals that come out and you can do a lunch and learn.
Absolutely. Have a lunch and learn, have someone come. You'll probably be surprised if you're not overly familiar. You'll be surprised at how much research there is behind the product. They'll help you. They'll show you other products. You can ask questions up front and personal. And obviously, nobody's doing lunch and learns these days. But when you guys get back to practice, we'll be back with you, bringing you lunch and helping you recommend the product. So knowledge is good as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being
You.
with us today. And I appreciate it and hope to look forward to talking with you in the future.
I agree. Thank you, Sherry. You stay safe, stay well. That's the most important thing. That's going to get us back into practice and connecting with our patients faster than anything else.
Yes, I agree. You stay safe as well.
Thanks.
Having mentors and being part of a community that can encourage and support you is one of the most important things you can have to reach your health goals. I would love to help you along the way. I have a 7-day toothbrushing challenge where we talk about toothbrushing the proper way, flossing, what's right for you, tongue health, sanitizing your toothbrush, and so much more. Click the link below if you'd like to know more about that. And thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe for more weekly videos.